So today is December 21st. Today I had the day off work and I did my last minute Christmas shopping, and then a friend of ours from church gave us a new bike for baby Z, and yeah, mommy's ice cream. I don't plan to share. He sounds excited about my ice cream. He ran into my room because we are like in my room, you know, getting ready for bed. And he took like a 3-hour nap. So I'm just kind of gonna let him have his time. And he's eating a snack because he didn't really eat dinner. But today we went to get last minute presents. We picked up that bike. We picked up Instacart. But Instacart failed me, and I was so happy. But I was looking for my sausage. They didn't bring out my sausage. They didn't bring out chicken that I ordered and Greek yogurt. And those are like the 3 big things that I kind of went there for. And I did get some grapes, and they were crunchy. So that kind of gives them a little bit of a plus. So I love crunchy grapes, but it was really disappointing to pretty much not have those 3 items. I may see if I can pick my way to work tomorrow. Like if I leave at 9 o'clock, I can go to pick them up from the store. I don't know. I may do it, I may not. I'll have to see how I feel in the morning. Little guy's running around. Where's the cup at? He doesn't really like his food to be contained in the containers and stuff that I put him in. So he'll like spread it out on the counter or wherever it is. But we currently have on Pureflix and watching the Storyteller or something like that. And baby Z is really getting into it. And so yeah, we are going to bed. I work tomorrow, and I moved around all day trying to make sure the house is clean. Sam is picking up his parents from Houston, and I was just trying to make sure everything is clean. I think they'll be here in about 2 hours. About 2 hours. And of course, Houston is far away. So y'all tell me, what skincare do you guys use for combo type of skin? And also acne prone skin. Like I get oily and then I get dry skin. Like it's just different. It varies. And also too, like I've been trying to drink green juices, and have like apples, cucumber, spinach, in my juices. And so I was hoping that would also help, because I heard that it does. But I know also that carrots help too. Like carrots, like skin loves carrots. So I've been eating carrots. And I didn't realize that carrots are super filling. I ate wings and carrots the other day and some roasted broccoli. And I had some ranch with it, and that was delicious. Like when my cycle comes, how do people still have clear skin on their cycle? Like I want to know. Like please help your girl out. Can you do me
Partially.
Oh. Oh, really? What? Are all these people waiting? Or these people got out? I just came from an eye doctor's appointment and got contact lenses that actually feel like they fit for me. I made the appointment last minute yesterday. Yellow! Yes, it is yellow. Red! And blue. Good job. And so now I'm wearing contacts. And my earrings are in my purse, so I'm gonna put those on. But we are at the library playing. Daniel 6 is what I was reading. And I've read Daniel before. Okay. It pleased Darius to appoint 120 satraps to rule throughout the kingdom with 3 administrators over them, one of whom was the satraps were made accountable to them so that the king might not suffer loss. Now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his exceptional qualities that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. At this, the administrators and the satraps tried to find grounds for charges against Daniel in his conduct of government affairs, but they were unable to do so. They could find no corruption in him because he was trustworthy, and neither corrupt nor negligent. Finally, these men said, "We will never find any basis for charges against this man, Daniel, unless it has something to do with the law of his God." So the administrators and the satraps went as a group to the king and said, "O King Darius, live forever." The royal administrators, prefects, satraps, advisors, and governors have all agreed that the king should issue an edict and enforce the decree that anyone who prays to any god or man during the next 30 days, except to you, O king, shall be thrown into the lion's den. Now, O king, issue the decree and put it in writing so that it cannot be altered, in accordance with the laws of the Medes and Persians, which cannot be repelled. So King Darius put the decree in writing. Now when Daniel learned that the decree had been published, he went home to his upstairs room where the windows opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God, just as he had done before. Then these men went as a group and found Daniel praying and asking God for help. So they went to the king and spoke to him about his royal decree. "Did you not publish a decree that during the next 30 days, anyone who prays to any god or man except to you, O king, would be thrown into the lion's den?" The king answered, "The decree stands in accordance with the laws of the Medes and the Persians, which cannot be repealed." Then they said to King Daniel, who is one of the exiles from Judah, pays no attention to you, O king, or to the decree you put in writing. He still prays 3 times a day. When the king heard this, he was greatly distressed. He was determined to rescue Daniel and made every effort until sundown to save him. Then the men went as a group to the king and said to him, "Remember, O king, that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no decree or edict that the king issues can be changed." So the king gave the order, and they brought Daniel and threw him into the lion's den. The king said to Daniel, "May your God whom you serve continually rescue you." A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet ring and with the rings of his nobles, so that Daniel's situation might not be changed. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night without eating and without any entertainment but being brought to him, and he could not sleep. At the first light of dawn, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he came near the den, he called to Daniel in an anguished voice, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to rescue you from the lions?" Daniel answered, "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions." I like that verse. "They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in his sight. Nor have I ever done any wrong before you, O king." The king was overjoyed and gave orders to lift Daniel out of the den. And when Daniel was lifted from the den, no wound was found on him because he had trusted in his God. At the king's command, the men who had falsely accused Daniel were brought in and thrown into the lion's den along with their wives and children. And before they reached the floor of the den, the lions overpowered them and crushed all their bones. Then King Darius wrote to all the peoples, nations, and men of every language throughout the land, "May you prosper greatly. I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. I love this so much, and it really encouraged me. Like, I had a dream that I was taking some people to a clinic, and in that clinic there was like a ton of people in there. There was a snake that was floating in the air. And so I just finished reading the study portion of my Bible on talking about Daniel, and I think it was really nice to have a bigger picture as to what was going on in the time to where Daniel was going through what he was going through. And they gave background on about the lions, about how some high up kings would, or officials would, fight and like mess around with the lions as a sport. It just kind of, in my study Bible also asks questions. It's really old though. I don't know how old it is. I got it when I was doing missionary work in Texas at a prison, so at the hospitality house. And so I don't know. I just think it was just so, like, it's good because Daniel was very, like, they're talking the study portion of the book Bible, but the book of Daniel is talking about how Daniel was very consistent in his prayer life. So whenever the king put his law in effect about don't pray to anybody except him or worship anybody except him for 30 days, the Bible, or the study portion talks about how that king had that king had what do you call it? He had pride, and that pride led him to enforcing a law like that. But Daniel, so cool. Like, Daniel still did his normal prayer 3 times a day at his window. He didn't hide himself away from, the people to see him praying. And then they, of course, persecuted Daniel, put him in the lion's den. Nothing happened to him. And like Daniel has said that, like, God sent an angel to cover him and to protect him. And I'm just like, that's just so good, because there's so many times to where I know personally in my walk with God, when God tells me to do something and the enemy like puffs up his head even just a little bit, I'm scared and like I would want to run away. When anything is going on in my life that I don't like, I am recovering from running away. Holy Spirit, help me. But that's just something that I would have done, and I just think about how Daniel never ran. He was consistent. He trusted in the Lord. And whenever he was in the lion's den, nothing came toward him. And that's what God does. Like, he protects us from our enemies. He protects us from lions, right? Like, and I think it's just really, really profound. And I love his story. And it just encourages me to just stay consistent in my walk with God. And it just reminds me that, in every endeavor that I face, like, I need to remain in the Lord and not to walk out of his presence or out of his anointing or his call, or not to even not walk away from fearing him. And so, yeah, my friend was telling me, oh, you should read the book of Daniel. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know. So I read it and I feel good because I also too, like, this is a side note, but I feel like people come up with who God is based on their own like mental capacity, because we can read our Bible all day but really not know who God is. And I once lived like that, very lukewarm, and I've talked about that all year. But would I, like, if you know, there was a mandate for me not to pray and I regularly prayed in front of my window, would I choose not would I not pray to God, my King, the God who created the heavens and the earth? Would I, like, would I do that, you know? And would I like obey the law, or would I obey God? And I I like, would I obey God to death? To death, right? To death, completely to death, because even at the end, King Nebuchadnezzar said that he's going to start serving the God of Daniel. Because it says here, verse 26, I issue a decree that in every part of my kingdom, people must fear and reverence the God of Daniel. So if all of that stuff, you know, just didn't happen before, and Daniel didn't do, and if Daniel didn't stay in his rightful place, like, would he, like, what would have happened? And it says, for he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. His dominion will never end. He rescues and he saves. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions. So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. What does it look like for me to be in the lion's den? Or to even be like attempted, like, oh, let's find something to persecute Regina for? And would I stand and be faithful? Because in the study portion, it says, even unbelievers witness to Daniel's consistency by his continual service. So it's like, what I'm also thinking about too a lot is paganism, and like, it's kind of a newer concept to me that I would like to study eventually. But it's like, I feel like the pagan of this time would have just not prayed, maybe, if I'm thinking of and understanding what a pagan is, and you know, but they wouldn't have like listened, and I mean, they would have listened to the king's new law for 30 days, and they wouldn't have prayed to God, right? Like, would they have like succumbed to man's law or God's law, you know? And I get so convicted because, and I get like, I just have so much fear of the Lord, and it just scares me to like bow down to a human. I was thinking about that this morning. if I can't kneel here before the Lord, and I could think that I can, you know, bow down to someone like culturally or whatever. What? Like, but also too, like I was just thinking, like, in what ways do I bow down to man here and today, like here and the now? By going with the trends, by going with the culture, by going with my friends, by going with family or something like that, like by just keeping the system as the system in this world, like, you know? It's just something to ponder on. What is your lion's den? And would you compromise? That part. Would you compromise unto death? You know, that's my rant.